If you've ever wondered, why do I feel responsible for everyone's pain? Or why do I always feel drained after helping others? This is for you. Empathy is a gift, the ability to feel with another. But when that gift becomes a compulsion, a coping mechanism, or a form of emotional self-erasure, it becomes something else entirely. Toxic empathy. The emotional cost of hyper-empathy, where the lines between your feelings and someone else's become blurred. Toxic empathy isn't compassion. It's emotional contagion. It's the internalization of another person's suffering so deeply that it begins to dysregulate your own nervous system. You don't just witness their pain, you absorb it, you become it. Unlike healthy empathy, which allows for attunement and boundary, toxic empathy leads to emotional enmeshment, self-abandonment, and burnout. It's where empathy becomes over-identification and caring becomes unsustainable. You feel emotionally responsible for others' happiness. You find it difficult to say no without guilt. Your moods shift dramatically based on those around you. You're the helper, the fixer, but your own needs go unmet. You often feel emotionally depleted, resentful, or invisible. These patterns aren't random. They're often rooted in early childhood trauma, especially in emotional neglect, parentification, or growing up in households where love had to be earned through service or self-suppression. Inner child healing works with these patterns gently and somatically, helping you reconnect with your emotional boundaries, reclaim your voice, and return to your own truth. Toxic empathy is often a trauma response. If your nervous system was wired to anticipate others' emotional states in order to stay safe, it makes sense that you now overfeel, overfunction, or overgive. You may have learned that being attuned to others meant your own survival, but your nervous system wasn't meant to carry everyone else's pain. You are not a sponge. You are a soul. For those who identify as highly sensitive, deep feelers, or recovering people pleasers, it's important to learn that you can care without collapsing, help without absorbing, and love without losing yourself. You are allowed to feel deeply without carrying what was never yours. Empathy is not the problem, but the absence of boundaries is. Come back to yourself. That's where healing begins. So what exactly is toxic empathy? Let's unpack exactly what it is and explore how better to understand it. Empathy in its purest sense is the capacity to understand and feel the emotional world of another. But unlike any beautiful quality, when it's stretched too far, it begins to distort. Do you struggle to set boundaries even when you know the cost is your mental, physical, financial, or spiritual well-being? Do your moods rise and fall with the emotional climate of the people around you? Are you always the last to receive support, your own needs consistently unmet? You may be a toxic empath. Where sympathy is the ability to feel for someone without being emotionally moved by it, empathy invites us into the emotional field of another. We feel with them. We imagine ourselves in their shoes. We walk emotionally where they walk. Empathy is often broken into three parts: cognitive, understanding what another is feeling; emotional, feeling what another feels; compassionate empathy, responding with helpful action. Without empathy, we risk becoming aloof, indifferent, or at the far extreme, cruel and emotionally disconnected. But what happens when there's too much? While the terms toxic empathy, hyperempathy, and empathy disorder aren't clinically defined, they all point to the same phenomenon, an excessive identification with another's emotional experience. A toxic empath doesn't just witness or validate someone's pain, they absorb it, mirror it, carry it, often with as much or even more intensity than the person who's actually experiencing the problem. Imagine a friend whose dog is dying. A person with healthy empathy offers support, compassion, maybe a practical helping hand, and a toxic empath, on the other hand, may spiral into inconsolable distress, unable to focus at work, irritable with others, cancelling plans, overwhelmed by emotional residue that isn't even their own. This is emotional contagion, not compassion. This is where empathy becomes enmeshment. You regularly absorb the emotions of others as if they were your own. You feel responsible for other people's pain, well-being, or choices. You avoid setting boundaries because the guilt is unbearable. Your own needs are chronically unmet because you're always tending to others. You often feel exhausted, resentful, or invisible in relationships. Hyper-empathy can be a trauma response. It often has roots in childhood neglect or emotional parentification, early loss or bereavement, abuse or enmeshment with caregivers, environments where love had to be earned by tuning in to others' needs. In some cases, it's also present in conditions like borderline personality disorder, but even without a diagnosis, many of us carry the imprint of I must feel what others feel in order to be safe, loved, or accepted. So, can you love a toxic empath? Yes, but boundaries are essential. Whether it's you or your partner showing signs of toxic empathy, what's needed is clarity, containment, and compassionate accountability. This isn't about becoming cold, it's about reclaiming your emotional sovereignty. If this piece resonated, it might be time to explore your boundaries more deeply. How were they modelled in childhood? Do you feel safe saying no? Are you able to separate your emotional experience from others, or does it all blend into one indistinct tide? Support is available. Healing is possible. Empathy doesn't need to be erased. It just needs to be held. You are allowed to feel deeply without losing yourself in the depths.